Hey, real fast, I want to talk to you guys about posture and alignment. If you've been to any of my classes or any of my boot camps or trained with me at all, you know it's something that I talk about constantly. I'm constantly cueing it. So if you're ever with me and I'm talking about head in line with your spine, rolling your shoulders down and back, keeping your tailbone tucked under and core engaged, even if you think I'm not talking to you, I'm probably talking to you, and just pretend that I am talking to you, because these things are going to be very important to your overall fitness. And long term, if you do have bad posture, or even if it's just the slightest bit off, long term doing the moves with poor alignment can result in injury. So some things that I want you to think about, there's 3 main things, and they're going to be throughout any move or exercise you do, whether that is cardio, lifting weights, always pulling your core in. Some people like to talk about pretending they're getting punched in the stomach. I find that a little bit unpleasant sounding, so I don't want to get punched in the stomach, so I'm not going to pretend that I'm doing that. But one thing that does kind of mind to muscle for me, like that, making that connection, is tucking my tailbone under, or picturing bottom of my ribs pulling closer to the top of my hips. That I'm like, okay, I can feel that. So if you tuck your tailbone under, you'll see the bottom of my ribs are going towards the top of my hips. And I can also feel, if I'm touching, if I'm reaching through that skin there, I can feel that my core is in fact engaged. But if you want to pretend someone's punching you in the stomach and that works for you, then do that. That's completely fine. The reason that we do talk about having the core engaged is because if your core is not engaged, you're just kind of soft through the middle, it's not just the front of their body that we're talking about, it's the back as well. So if you're lifting anything up and this is not braced, then the low back is also not protected. So you're bending over, you're rolling the back, and then the back, your low back is taking on the brunt of the weight, and that can again result in an injury. So when you think of bracing your core, don't just think of like, oh, I'm practicing like that. That's not what it's about. It's about 360 degrees core all the way around. Posture. So you'll hear me say a lot about rolling your shoulders down and back, pretending that your shoulder blades are tucked into your back pockets if you were wearing jeans to class, which you're not, but let's pretend. If you put a picture in your mind, it's kind of funny. Rolling your shoulders down and back. Let me show you the difference. This is a big thing I see when we're doing any kind of bent over row or deadlift, stuff like that. There's a lot of rolling forward. Even just walking around, a lot of us have bad posture. So practice this when you're outside of the gym, but when you're inside of the gym as well. Roll your shoulders down and back. Let me show you the difference. See what that looks like when they're rolled forward versus rolling them down and back. Now, okay, it looks like I stuck my chest out a little bit. Big deal. You cannot worry about what other people think, and you can't be worried about, does it look like I'm sticking my chest out? Who cares? You need to have good alignment and posture. Don't let something like your ego or self-esteem get in the way of your overall health and fitness. Think about it, it's kind of silly. So roll those shoulders down and back. If we were doing something, like I said, like a deadlift, tailbone tucked under, shoulders rolled down and back. See how my head is in line with my spine? I can do the hips. Now let me show you if I had poor posture, if I let my shoulders roll, look what happens. My upper body, my upper back rolls forward, and everything just went to my low back. Those shoulders down and back, and I squeeze my shoulder blades, then I'm getting the tension at the back of my legs. I'm getting the engagement in my hamstrings, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So in a deadlift, anything like that, it's gonna look and feel super rigid, and it's not about how far I can get these weights to touch the floor. There's not a contest for that. So it's gonna look different on everyone. Again, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Now, again, go back to rolling those shoulders down and back. How can we make that more of a habit? Well, it's going to take time, so you need to be patient with yourself. But some exercises that you can work on to strengthen the upper back and help you keep your shoulders rolled down and back, shoulder blades squeezed in, is you can do some bent over rows, wide bent over rows, 2 of my favorites, and all you need is a set of dumbbells. So your feet will be set up under your hips, knees are soft, you're going to push your butt back a little bit, and look how I have that 45-degree angle. My shoulders are rolled down and back. And for your narrow bent over row, just rolling those weights up to the side, keeping my elbows in tight, squeezing my shoulder blades. So I don't want to let my chin fall on my chest, and I don't want to be looking up here. I want to keep my head in line with my spine. So that's about 3 to 5 feet gaze in front of me. And now if I'm talking about a bent over row, which is a wide bent over row, same setup, feet under hips, knees soft, except this time I'm gonna lead with the elbows. Squeeze my shoulder blades, lower back. So that first move, that narrow bent over row, little traps, the wide bent over row is maybe your delt. All of those muscles squeezing together, keeping your shoulders rolled down and back. So once you progress with your fitness and maybe you move on to something else, whether it's running or heavy lifting, any of that stuff, it's gonna help you with your posture. So that's all I have for you today. So if you can keep those things in mind, that would be fantastic. And that's gonna help you with your overall fitness. And it's gonna help us progress you further in your fitness. If you have any questions, speak to your trainers and have an awesome day.